Hi, I'm Yinka, and this is The Hurt Locker, a podcast where we open a door into men's mental health. Coming up.
I'm a dude from a poor town in Romania, and I took a big leap.
Was that a culture shock for you then? Tell me, why were you nervous?
The attitude of shut up and carry on with it, that's the only solution we have.
Do you crave validation? You like to distract and deflect, I can see that.
That being said, because I feel like I'm always going to be a foreigner in the UK. I even got the British citizenship, and I don't feel British.
Okay, so interesting. What does that mean to be British then? You're listening to The Hurt Locker, the podcast that opens the door on men's mental health. And for tonight's guest, we have Radu Isac.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Welcome, Radu. How are you? How are things?
Yeah, pretty good. I'm towards the tail end of a visit home, so going through a lot of emotions.
Through all has it been a good visit home?
Yeah. I'm old enough now, and I feel like I'm the adult in my relationship with my parents now. So it's hard for it not to be. If it's a bad visit home, it's my fault now.
Okay. For the benefit of our listeners, Radu, tell us a little bit about you.
So I'm a comedian. I've been doing comedy for 20 years. I'm Romanian, but I live in London. And that's mostly it. And then I'm a bit addicted to playing chess online. I need to find something more proactive to do.
Radu, you shouldn't have told me that. That's what I play. That's what I play all the time.
Do you really? Or chess.com?
Chess.com, yes.
Nice.
Yes.
Let's have a game.
I play Blitz chess.
Okay. I started with Blitz, and then I went to like the Bullet, and I feel like that one is way more addictive.
That's intense as well. Oh, I don't know. We'll talk about this off air anyway. So welcome. So at this moment in time, you're currently at home in Romania. Whereabouts?
It's my hometown is called Vaslui. It's kind of like Hull in the UK. It's honestly like a punchline town. But I like it. I grew up here. I know everybody. I don't really know everybody because everybody left. But I know all the streets and everybody's parents.
Can I just pick up on that point about everybody left? You're, compared to me anyway, you're young. And I'm wondering, was there a large demographic of your age group that said, we want to have more social mobility, as it were, and we need to look across Europe and see what opportunities there are?
Absolutely. So I was in a snobbish high school class. So everybody's like an overachiever type person. So they wouldn't, like their career would have plateaued in Romania by the time they're like 29. So all my people, most of my friends do like computer programming and stuff. So there's a ceiling of how much you can advance in that field in Romania. But then apart from my actual class and my friends in my age group, in Romania, I think more than half the people left the country in like the last 10, 20 years. So in my age group, half of the people don't live in Romania anymore. And then from my hometown, something like, I don't know, like 80% of people left the hometown, not necessarily the country, but they moved to left Hull, sort of.
Yes. So how does that impact the local economy? How does that impact the lifestyle for your parents and other people who've remained?
Oh, it's a big problem, but the brain drain thing. That's like a real issue. It's just basically the dumb people tend to stay behind, and then they tend to be sort of economically colonialized way quicker than if everybody stayed behind. So we have it affects us from that point of view, but also I feel like we're still learning the way it affects us. So like when I was a kid, there was a thing of probably something like, I don't know, like 30% of the kids in my class, in my hometown, maybe 20% were raised by their grandparents, because the parents went to economic labor and to do economic labor in the West.
Okay.
And now I feel like the phenomenon that's happening now, sort of now people when they leave take their children, but still leave their parents behind. So now the phenomenon is there are a lot of abandoned old people in my, and you can kind of see the houses and stuff. It's sad from that point of view. You can kind of see like nobody visited that house in 20 years.
Yeah. And it's like you said, that's sad, as it were. And is there a part of you that's ever considered or contemplated, I know in 5 years' time, maybe when I have a young family, etc., I'll go back to Hull, as it were, and start up?
Once in a while, I think about it, but me being a comedian, that's even. I think about, like, I could go back to Bucharest and make a living there, but there's nobody in my hometown that's a comedian and makes that
Okay.
their living.
Okay.
It's too small of a town.
Okay. We spoke briefly yesterday, and you said that you spent some time in LA, as it were, but
Yeah.
the last 10 years you've been living in London and you've
Yes.
moved to Brixton. How was it coming to England in the first place, and then ultimately moving to a diverse area such as Brixton, given the fact that the monoculture in, for want of a better phrase, Hull, as it were?
Yeah. So Romania, we have our diversity, but basically I only kind of grew up around other Romanians. We have gypsies. That's the other ethnic group in Romania, and we kind of live segregated from one another. So I wouldn't say I've lived in a diverse society before, even though there are other ethnic groups in my hometown. It was I wouldn't say it was interesting and charming, and even me learning how I feel sexually about other races. I enjoyed sort of following that. Like
Have you ever dated a black girl?
I did. I had like a one night stand, but that's the most I've. But I remember I went to Brussels when I was like 25, and like in my head I never thought that I want to date a black girl. And then I went to Brussels, and just on the tube, I realized that I want to date a black girl. And then
Okay.
and then like with all the other races, like, I feel like in Romania, we get like a lot of American movies. Like I grew up on basically just American culture, and black culture is well represented in American
Yes.
culture. So that's black people were the first people I kind of thought about, sort of knowing that there are a different race and stuff. But also when I moved to London, I realized, okay, wait a second, there's also the Indian Peninsula, and then there's the East Asians and so on, and then so just the whole big learning curve of where everybody's from. I learned a lot about like history and geography, but just by meeting the races, I don't think I would have necessarily had the curiosity to know what happened in Kenya if I didn't live in the UK.
Understanding. Was that a culture shock for you then?
It took a second to get used to it. It took a second for me to. It took like a second, but like I
Yes.
actually had like jokes about it. The joke I had was it's harder to talking to a black dude. To me, is like talking with a lady with very big boobs. It's
I can't just looking at that. Yeah, yes.
yeah, you can't measure the boobs, otherwise you can't play with them. So, but and I genuinely felt that in the beginning, but a year in, I got used to just people being from wherever, and not noticing their race the first time I talked to them. But in the beginning, were like the first 10 black people I talked to, the fact that they were black, that's the only thing that was in my mind at that point. And I was just like nervous of just don't say it out loud because I know it's wrong.
Tell me, why were you nervous?
I still wanted to make like a good impression, and there were like 7 of those 10 were like comedians, so they're like colleagues, and I wanted to make like a good impression, but I didn't. Like the only information my brain gave me was they're too black.
Yeah.
I feel like it's the same if I go to like China or something. I heard people would take pictures of me just because because I don't look like everybody there.
So you've been in London, the UK for 10 years.
Yeah.
Do you feel that you've assimilated?
I think so. Yeah, I think I have. That being said, because I feel like I'm always going to be a foreigner in the UK. I don't feel like I'll ever be. I don't feel like I'll ever feel. I even got the British citizenship, and I don't feel British. It's
okay. So interesting. From your perspective, you've got the British citizenship. What does that mean to be British then?
Oh, for me, it makes it easier to travel the world. It's in Europe, a Romanian passport is good enough, but around the world, it's not like a safe passport to have. If the border patrol people in Mexico or in like India are having a bad day, they're gonna fuck up my summer. and it's been happening. Like I know this. I'm not paranoid. It's just if you follow news stories and stuff, it happens to Romanians a lot. They go to like vacation in Mexico and they spend it in a jail and then they get sent back.
Wow.
So from that point of view, I very much wanted to be from one of the colonizing countries.
It's got the cachet, as they say.
Yeah. For some reason, they still get more respect around the world than the non-colonizing countries.
Yes. Radu, anyway, welcome to the Hurt Locker. And we're very much about talking about mental health. And I think when we touched on it yesterday, when we had our brief chat yesterday, attitudes about mental health vary across Europe, as it were. And I'm wondering, what's it like in Romania?
In Romania, we tend to copy a lot of what's happening, and whatever happened in the West like 3 years ago is sort of happening here now. Like sort of like the hipstery people, the early adopters. I feel like that's the mental health kind of came in with the early adopters. I feel like in the UK now it's like at the mainstream stage where people, the footballers kind of go, I need to take care of my mental health. In Romania now, it's just maybe the tennis players go, I need to take care of my mental health. Maybe the more hipstery athletic people.
Okay. What about for the general population though? Do they feel as if like if they're in crisis that they can reach out to somebody for support, or it hasn't reached that stage yet?
I feel like for some fortunate people it has, but for most people it hasn't. It's still like therapy is expensive any way you cut it, because you still need a very highly trained person to sit there and listen to you for like 50 hours in like a year or something, for them to even begin to scratch the surface of who you are and what you're doing. And most people in Romania can't afford to pay a highly educated person for 50 hours to listen to them because they feel sad. Most people, the attitude of shut up and carry on with it comes from that's the only solution we have.
Okay, and so that's the issue about economic disparities then, coming from Romania and seeing maybe therapy as a luxury there to somewhere like Britain, whereby in some certain circles it can be deemed as a prerequisite, that you're entitled to it. So it feels like generationally Romania is still very much playing catch up in that respect.
I think so. I think we do from that point of view, but also I don't think I'm an early adopter myself. I feel like it's nice to see other people make their own mistakes and learn from their mistakes. I what I what I feel like we're in Romania, instead of just adopting it, we just should understand how it went in the UK and just come on, let's make a better model of it. It's an opportunity, we're not playing catch up. We have an opportunity, but yeah, I'm not optimistic that we're going to use it.
Okay, we've on the Hurt Locker, we have interviewed and we've met with loads of comedians and a lot of them talk about some of the challenges and struggles that they've had and reflected on in their life with regards to their mental health. Some have also gone on to talk about suicidal ideation, self-injury, and thoughts of suicide itself. And I'm wondering for yourself, has that ever been something?
Absolutely, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah. But that's I was saying yesterday that I feel like there's a bit of a monopoly on how you approach mental health. I feel like suicide is a bit is a big part of that monopoly. But I feel like in the West, it feels like and in therapy, it's almost like a taboo thing. If you've had the thought, you need to talk to somebody. Whereas in my head, I feel like, no, the thought is very normal. It's almost like a feature of life that you get to decide to end it.
Talk to me more about that.
Like it honestly gives me peace of mind that I know I can kill myself at any point, because I know life can't ever get too shitty. So I'm a dude from a poor town in Romania, and I took a big leap to kind of quit college and become a comedian and stuff. But I always knew that the bottom line is I'm just gonna if shit hits the fan, I can kill myself. It feels like I get to enjoy life more, knowing that the risk is not as big.
Okay.
Of perpetual suffering. I'm one of those people. Like, yeah, I'm one of those people. When I see, I've been watching the Narcos movies, and they get Colombian drug dealers, and they get
Narcos,
yeah,
brilliant.
I've been watching them these couple of days, but every time I see like somebody extradited to America to spend their life in jail there, I kind of feel like, why don't you just kill yourself? What happiness is left for you? And also, you've had all the happiness possible. You've had like all your wet dreams. Your children are grown up. Your grandchildren, they're never going to visit you in prison. So yeah, from my point of view, suicide is a feature of life. I would have liked to see like the pyramids being half built, and then like a story of a mass suicide.
Go on.
I feel like that would have helped humanity more. I feel like part of what's happened, like, there's a lot of people living in like horrible conditions, and like the people, the children that make phones in China and so on, and they put sort of mattresses around the building so they can't kill themselves. But that's how natural the idea of killing yourself is, I think. Because sometimes you do get like four people have the power to kind of corner you and ruin your life. And I feel like if there's no hope, you can kind of come on.
That's always an option.
That's always an option, yeah.
That's always an option. I think you've got an interesting take on life. I think it's not fatalistic. I think there's a pragmatism to the way that you're thinking there,
It might be, yeah.
I think I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued because you've been to a few places, you've seen the world, and I'm going to throw it on your toes, and I'm going to say, what is the answer for society? What is the answer for mankind?
Oh, I feel like just enjoy each other more and fuck more, work less. I feel like we're at the point that work isn't helping anybody. All the work we're doing now, we're just making the same phone again. We're just we're killing the whales now. We're just killing the trees and the planet around us. The big problem is just overconsumption. So we still need, obviously, we've gotten adjusted to like a certain level of endorphins
Yes.
from the overconsumption. Maybe we could balance that out if we just fuck more and buy less phones.
More fucking, more less dialing. Okay.
That's honestly it's the whole thing. Think globally, buy locally, but generally don't buy anything at all. I feel like nobody. If you look at the supply chain, everybody up until you get the package to your door, everybody's getting fucked.
Everybody's hustling.
Yeah,
Everybody is hustling.
I had a problem with my ex used to order a lot of stuff online, and I really had a problem with that because I felt like nobody, like 4 people had to poop their pants for you to have this thing that you don't need in your hands right now. Yeah, I don't feel like you're just helping the Amazon dude, and at this point you're not even helping him. At this point you're just making him want to fuck younger girls. You're not, because there's a limit to how much money keeps you healthy. Apparently after a certain amount of money, you want to fuck 17-year-olds. That's what I've learned.
Oh, guys. Okay. So tell me, do you have children now?
No, I don't. I'm afraid of that responsibility. I really enjoy my sister's children. I just had like a week of just having fun with them. But yeah, I don't. I'm not planning on having any of my own.
Never ever.
Never ever. Also, I'm not optimistic about the future of humanity, or at least I think the next 20 years are so crucial for the future of humanity that it's kind of a huge risk to bring somebody in right now.
Okay. If you don't mind me asking, are you currently in a relationship?
Yes, I am.
Are you in love?
I wouldn't say love, but I think I'm the most infatuated I've ever been. I think.
Why is that?
I don't know. We've been together for a long time, and it's like I really connect with the person, and we talk like about every conversation with her is kind of interesting, and yeah, I feel great in that relationship, but yeah, I don't necessarily like the word love. I feel like that's a bit of a blank contract that you're handing to somebody, like a blank signed contract. I feel like just let's take it day by day. Let's not promise us the decade ahead of us. Just make me happy tomorrow and today.
Okay.
And I feel like it's in the relationship I am right now. I feel like we're both making each other happy day by day. And yeah.
Okay. Is she Romanian?
Yeah, she is. I don't like that about her. I feel like I should have let some. I should have dated somebody else if I lived in London. That honestly bothers me a bit. I don't like saying that she's Romanian.
So tell me, in terms of we will come back to mental health and all of that. I think you've got a very dry sense of humor with regards to all of that. Observational, but you just take it as it is. But what do you hope for you? What do you aspire to? Have you found, is this your vocation, being a comedian? Is this your purpose?
Oh yeah, I think it is. In the pandemic, I had time to think about if I want to do anything else, and there's nothing else. I wouldn't say if I can. I didn't think about if I can do something else. I just thought about if I wanted to do something else. Like I would have put astronaut on the list if I really wanted to be an astronaut, and I don't. Again, I'm not. I love the stars. I love everybody that's going to space, but I'm not an early adopter.
And so then you're a comedian.
I'm a comedian, yeah.
How do you find it? The traveling, the staying in hotels. Do you travel a lot?
I did, and then I kind of I feel like I have a bit of a choice about it. I've like this in the autumn. I'm gonna visit like 5 countries, but I'm also gonna be at home for like 2 months. So I feel like I have a good average
Okay.
of both traveling and also having like a routine. And I do value having a little routine that makes my life be healthy and so on.
Okay. And so, what makes Radu Isac funny?
I think people just. I think people. I like that people don't take me seriously, because then I get to talk about suicide without cramping everybody's without getting everybody to clench up. So I feel like that makes me funny a bit. Also, I've always been a bit of an anarchist, and I've always been funny at school and stuff, but I also have been kicked out of class a lot, and it just suits me very well. Like, I never even write jokes. I just complain, and it's just sort of, for me. I have a big problem with like doing social media and being sort of like a professional comedian, kind of like telling people to like and subscribe and to pay me £1 a month, and I'll send them a picture of my feet. But besides that, like just the actual me doing comedy on stage, it's like I love it. It's never difficult. The only time when it's difficult is when I feel like I have to be professional and I can't really, like, if I have jokes that I know work, but then I have a joke that I don't know that if it works or not, but I'm excited about it, and I don't get to work on it because I need to deliver, because we're all adults and I need
Yes.
to call me back.
Yes.
That's the only time when I struggle with comedy. Everything else is just the most enjoyable thing ever.
So tell me about growing up in Hull. What was it like for you? Is it just the one sibling, or?
Yeah, one sibling. It was kind of my dad grew up in the saddest, smallest village I've ever seen in my life. I've never been anywhere more secluded than where my dad has been. But also both of my parents kind of went to school and had like good jobs and stuff, so they were a bit. I'm gonna say. Can I say? I want to say neo-Nazis, but not with the racial connotation.
Yeah. You can say neo-Nazis. Come on, let's be given what's going on in Britain at this moment in time. Please just say neo-Nazis.
So yeah, I kind of grew up with like this attitude of pull yourself with an extreme attitude of pull yourself up by the bootstraps.
Yes.
And that's kind of hard for a kid. I think that's why I never really did well in school and everything like that, because there was like way too much pressure around it. So I never really enjoyed it. And then it was a lot of, I had like very tough couple of years at one point, but I always found some joy and I got bullied a lot, but I also found I also kind of took it out on the teachers, which I feel like is the best thing I could have done.
Okay.
And,
did you use laughter as a way to get people on side?
Yeah. I think I did. But also, like, the reality was like so absurd in my high school and in school, that it was almost like laughter and comedy were weirdly the voice of reason, if that makes any sense. I don't feel like I don't think I was saying things that were just too out there. I think just we also, like, I grew up in so communism fell when I was like 3, and then there was the main problem with we had a dictatorship, and that sort of drove the country very into the ground. But the transition fucked it up even more. So I feel like the 90s. I think the 90s were harsher than the 70s in Romania.
Okay, because you had was it Ceausescu?
We had Ceausescu. He ruled the country from like the 60s till literally the end of the 80s.
Yes.
But the 80s were horrible. I grew up. I was born in the 80s, but like the 90s was a close second. the previous decade with the dictator, I think, was better than the decade after. The It's just a lot of reorganization and a lot of things kind of kept. It looked like five banks got bankrupt while I was so poverty and economics is like a big thing. But like five banks got bankrupt in Romania in like the 90s. So everybody lost their money like 5 times in the country.
Wow.
And then we had like inflation, the type of inflation where 100 becomes 1. That happened like at least twice or 3 times again in the 90s. So everybody lost their money. It was even if I never really went to like any I was never hungry, but I saw people around me that were, so like colleagues at school and so on, and that's not like an easy thing to get
To
over.
witness. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say, Dan, was it from your teenage years that you had made a conscious decision to leave Romania?
I kind of always want you kind of want to see the world. I feel like that's another unfair thing for people in like third world and second world countries, because whenever we leave, everybody assumes we left. We never, like Americans can just go and spend like 3 years in India.
Yes.
And nobody goes, but why did you leave America?
Yes.
It's sort of, you want to see the world. That's part of the human experience, right? You need to visit
100%.
it. So that's what's exactly it for me as well. Also, I was doing comedy, and I started watching American stand-up in like when I was in high school. And even though I had been doing comedy for like 10 years in Romania, and like I had like people, friends and stuff that same did comedy for like 10 years, bought a house, bought a big Range Rover, we still didn't feel like comedians.
Why is that?
Because we kind of all our kind of heroes and people that we started that we were watching at the beginning, they were like in America, and we were kind of we were seeing them, but they weren't seeing us. We weren't really part of the gang.
Yes.
If that makes any sense. So, and we would have never been part of the gang kind of thing.
Is there such a thing as Romanian comedy then, or is it just comedy generic right across the board?
I think it's comedy generic. I don't think there's British humor. I think that's sort of I think those terms don't really mean anything. Comedy is comedy. The mechanics of a joke works exactly the same in every in a person's brain. Is just the references kind of change, and that's the only thing that's different.
So coming to the UK, coming to London, and that you've honed your craft.
I think it helps. I think it helped. Even like more comedians. Competition was higher. I had to kind of buckle down a bit more. Also, everybody does shorter sets in the UK, and that makes you kind of overanalyze shorter, sort of work on like smaller parts and more details of your set. You work on more details if you're doing a 10-minute set than if you're doing like a 30-minute set.
100%. I mean, do you put some of your personal experiences into your comedy?
I feel like I don't do it enough, to be honest. I like 2 nights ago, I wrote something about dating. But yeah, I don't do it enough. But that's mostly because I feel like my life is so odd that it's hard for me to actually connect with people with my experiences. It's more easy if I talk about experiences in general.
It feels like, as you were talking then, it feels like you're still processing your own experiences.
But I feel like I'm supposed to every time I talk. I feel like I'm supposed to think about what I'm saying. I never know.
When I've asked you about your personal, do you put your personal elements in it, that you're still in the midst of processing all of that, making sense of that?
Oh, absolutely. I feel like, and comedy helps me with it. Like I do get like big validation if I get like every time I get like a thought that I know if I say to like people in if I say it to like a cab driver, I know he looks at me funny. But if I say it on stage, people acknowledge and they say, "Yes, you're right," and I get a huge validation from that. And that's one of the main reasons I in the pandemic I thought I don't want to do anything else, because I think I don't know even how to process like my feelings without getting the I know no matter how bad I'm feeling about the subject, I know I can kind of work the vocabulary around it, that I make myself sound like I'm right and get the laugh and get the validation. I don't think I could. Yeah, I don't think there's any other job that gives you that, and it's immediate validation. It's not like putting it out on YouTube and so on. It's just immediate. Like, no, I've said it. They like it.
Do you crave validation?
I think I do. Yeah, absolutely. I like
It's addictive.
even my family. If I meet family members that I haven't seen in like 5 years, I always try to make them laugh, even though I speak very. I don't make it obvious that I try to make them laugh, but yeah, I try to make them laugh.
What if
And like it's almost, and I care more about having made them laugh than anything else. I don't care about how they've been doing. I don't care if they know how I've been doing. I just want that big nice laughter.
what's the family thoughts of you being a comedian and a comedian in Britain?
I don't think they liked it. They definitely didn't like it in the beginning. Besides the lack of job security and so on, my parents are more of keep your head down type people. But then the snobbish side of them, when I moved to London, the snobbish side of them sort of started to make them a bit proud.
So you're the trophy son now, yeah? He's a comedian in the UK, yeah, in London.
Kind of. There's like the neighbors are fans of mine and stuff.
Okay. So you've got a little fan. You've got a little a fan group there. Okay.
It is a little validation there as well. But also, yeah, I try not to with my parents. I don't think I try to make them laugh as much.
What about your sister?
We're very different, but I always got along with her very well. So it's it's a very big mutual respect, but it's literally extreme left wing and extreme right wing people. But we have like such a long history, and we always sort of help each other out and so on. So it's a strong relationship. But we don't have anything to talk about. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it does make sense. And I don't know, I'm picking up a little bit of a sadness as well because of that. Okay, this is what I'm picking up. Okay. I'm picking up that you've gone to the polar opposites of how you were brought up, as it were, in terms of the parents and your family's eyes and all of that. And even though that you're their son and that, you've gone left field as far as they're concerned.
A bit. Yeah, that is very true. But there is common ground between me and my parents, and there's also things that my sister and my parents really don't see eye to eye on. So but yeah, mine are more visible.
Yes.
But the strings are there in both directions.
100%. Did your dad ever say to you he loves you?
No, we don't do that. And we shake hands and stuff. No, that's not the. I don't think I want him to do it because it would be too awkward, honestly.
For him or for you?
Probably for him more, but definitely for me a lot as well. And also, we still have like unresolved issues that we're never gonna resolve. Which is fine. I don't feel like it feels like too big of a mountain to climb.
Okay, yeah. What about your mom? Does she ever tell you she loves you?
She's more open about it, but not with the loving words, not with the big love words. But she's more open about it.
Is she tactile? Will she give you the hug?
Yeah. I think she touches my ass Like like once every other trip, or like maybe every trip.
I'm asking those questions because I find it fascinating how we're all the same and yet so different as well, and how we find it difficult to show or convey how we feel.
I think so, but there's also like so many other things. You're right. I always feel like there's other things. I'm like an avoider type person. I feel like there's the other things that we can prioritize.
Such as, come on, you like to distract and deflect. I can see that. Come on.
Like my sister has kids now. We're going to talk about the kids and how they're evolving, and then
But what about you? What about your needs?
But I don't. Yeah, I don't. I honestly don't think I want to have that conversation with my dad. And it's like, I met my
Your girlfriend.
no, I met my we have like a head teacher in high school in Romania. So I met him a couple of he's like a really cool dude. He's like 90, but he's like a really, really cool one of the best math teachers in the country.
Okay.
So I met him like 2 days ago. He was telling me about how his he did like an interview for a local newspaper, and the interview, but he also kind of quoted the interview to me, where he said something like first time he went to school in the 1940s in like a small village in the whole county. First year, I think the teacher beat him like 4 times or something. Like when he was 7, and then he just stayed at home because the school wasn't really a thing in Romania, and then in Romania in villages at that point in time. And then apparently the second year he got like a better teacher, and she knew how to handle him and so on. But even after that, like when he was 10, he was from like a well-to-do family, but his parents wouldn't have wanted him to carry on going to school, because those are the times back then. It was just if you're smart, we need you around the house. If you're dumb, you can go to school. We don't need you here. You can go and be fancy somewhere else. But he was like a smart dude, so yeah. And then he told me that he met the initial teacher. He had like a couple of jokes with the teacher from when he was 7 that really beat him to the point that he didn't come back to school. So he met him late. He met her later. She was the mom of one of his colleagues. But by that point he was ready, on his way to being like a bit of a savant type person.
Yes.
And he told me how he told her he forgave her because he understood that she didn't understand back then, and she looked at him and sort of apologetically, and he kind of went, I know you didn't know what you're doing. I'm over it. I know you think that. I think that. It's fine. Let's just move on. And I can't do that. I don't know what my teacher has that I don't have, but I can't do the forgiving thing. I don't know how and I've been thinking about it a lot. That's sort of I know it was a long-winded story, but yeah, I've been thinking about it.
Does that mean that you carry a lot of pain and hurt?
I probably do, but I don't know if I can. I don't know if me conversing with the person that caused the pain and hurt would really help in any way.
Okay,
does that make sense?
It does make sense. It does make sense, but still, you hold it within you, though.
Yeah, and I'd like to be able to let it go, but somehow my teacher was able to do it, and I'm not able to do it. I don't know if that's like almost a generational thing. I almost think that we're the first generation that isn't forgiving their parents for what all the parents did up until now.
Interesting. Well, it is interesting. It's fascinating. I've got so many different questions on there. Does it become a barrier to you being close to your parents, particularly your dad?
I think it is. Yeah, I think it is. But I don't think it's the main barrier. I don't think it's. I think it's a barrier, but there's also a generational barrier. There's also there are both of my parents know that I do a lot of drugs, but they wouldn't ever talk to me about it. But they just know it's bad that I do drugs.
Would you like them to talk to you about it?
I don't mind. I kind of like at this point I'm sort of enjoying. I've been told off by them when I was a kid, and I'm sort of enjoying doing wrong stuff that they can't tell me off about. I'm enjoying having that little power.
I was going to say, you took the words out of my mouth. You're beyond reproach now. Yes, they can't tell you anything now.
Exactly, but drugs is an example of a communication issue that we're always going to have. I don't think they're able to kind of see past what they've been fed about drugs. I'm
Yes.
never going to not enjoy weed.
Yes.
And I feel like, I feel like there are other things are ripping us apart. And,
Yeah.
Oh no! So my sister just was at home as well with the 3 children and the husband, and we were my sister's from France, and we kind of switched between speaking Romanian, English, and French, depending on in the house, depending on who's listening and the children and so on, depending on the situation, we switch in between. But my parents only speak Romanian. So they really didn't understand that much of what was happening in the house.
Naughty.
There are a lot of, and we didn't do it intentionally. You know, the little kids would say
obviously,
French and so on. Yeah,
obviously. Do you think because of your experiences growing up, that's kind of give you the notion, the idea of maybe not wanting to be a father yourself?
I think so, but I think it's mostly I don't want the responsibility. Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, exactly that. I don't want to fuck up, and I know I would.
Fuck up. Okay, that's interesting.
But
if you know what it was like growing up, being parented, why would you fuck up if you don't? Because you know what.
I enjoy my naps, and I feel like I would resent the children to the point that I would fuck up. I think I would resent them. I know every parent loves the children, but then also resents them on Saturday morning when they want to stay in bed. And I feel like for me, the resentment feeling would win out, and that's not fair to like another human being.
No, it's not. Your partner never wanted children, then?
This was like a big issue in the beginning, in the past with former partners. But my actual my partner right now, she's a very big career woman, and she's at the age where she almost can't have them anymore. So I'm confident to say that she doesn't want children.
Okay.
With all my other partners, they've told me. I've had like a couple of long relationships that I was honest from the beginning that I don't want children. They told me the same thing, and then they started guilting me.
And then they thought they could work on you. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and they didn't. I'm like I was so upfront about it that they didn't even like they let some time pass. And then they would just kind of guilt me about, but now I want children, so it's it's been an issue in the past as well. I'm very careful about who I date from that point of view.
I hear you. What next for you, Radu? You said that you're going to 5 countries. What countries are they?
I'm going to Belgium, Luxembourg, probably Denmark, Austria, Portugal, Spain, Italy.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is your act delivered in English or?
I do it in English, and I enjoy performing in Europe more because, like, there's like a English-speaking comedy in Europe now, but everybody in the audience is you if I go to Belgium, there's probably like 10% Belgian people, and then like 90% just people from other countries. So I'm just one of the people from other countries. Whereas in the UK, I'm always the odd one out.
Yes.
Like 80% of the people are from the UK, 20%, or the numbers change, but it's more or less. I enjoy gigging in Europe a lot, but still the UK has more of a pizzang. The UK comedy scene sounds.
Okay. So, and where can people see you here in the UK?
So I mostly perform in London. I'm a regular at Top Secret, which is, but many people say it's the best club, and I agree. I have a lot of fun there. Top Secret Comedy Club.
Where's that?
That's in London, in Covent Garden. And I do that one almost every week, and then I have a schedule on my website, and I update it.
Tell us your website.
The website is raduisac.com. RADUISAC.
Thanking you. And what about any television work or writing?
I've had some. I was working on a pilot for a while, which got a production company bought it, and now it's been like 3 years, and it's looking more and more like it's never going to happen. And then I don't know. I need to. That's the work part of it. I need to talk to an agent, and that's work.
Okay.
I'm hoping to get to it, but television isn't as big as it used to be. So I kind of I want to do it, but I kind of I keep postponing it.
I hear you. And I'm going to ask you the question now. Who's the most important person in your life?
Most important? Yeah, yes. That's a big question.
You can only have one.
If I can choose. I would choose between like 4 or 5 friends.
But you can only pick one.
I would have to go with my girlfriend because we live together and so on. But I don't like that I'm saying that. I'm not really comfortable with me having said that.
Well, what if I said it was you?
Okay.
What if I said the most important person in your life is you?
I like that.
Can you embrace that?
I don't know. I think I'm selfish enough, but I feel like I need to also be careful not. I feel like like generally organisms are about like dominating other organisms. And I don't wanna use all my power to make me all to put me in the center, if that makes sense. I feel like if I put too much of it, it's just gonna hurt other people.
Is that your fear? Is that your ego talking then? Your ego.
I know what you mean. I know I talk highly about myself a bit, but yeah, I don't know.
That's okay. That's really okay. Can I ask when you're not?
Sometimes I sort of like I feel like I've been to like a lot of to like some hardships and some sort of conflicts and so on, and I kind of always tend to land on my feet, and that's why I'm saying that I feel like I put myself in the center and enough because I do land on my feet.
Yeah.
I'm not really afraid for me.
Okay. Ooh. So if I say the word vulnerability,
okay,
what comes up for you?
Other people's vulnerabilities, mine as well.
Your vulnerability.
Okay. Yeah. I know I have like little weaknesses, but I'm not afraid. If that makes, I'm not afraid of being taken advantage of or anything like that sort of.
Okay.
Because I feel like I'll land on my feet. I'm gonna be fine. Okay. And if I don't, I can kill myself.
Oh, that's always the bottom line. Indeed.
It's a win-win situation.
It's a win-win situation. Tell me, what's the last book you've read?
I don't read.
You
I don't
don't
have
read?
the. No, I don't have the patience now. I've never read the book.
No. Radu Isac, you've been an excellent guest. Thank you so much today.
Thank you very much for having me.
How has it been for you?
Honestly, I really enjoyed it. I honestly feel like this has been my first therapy session ever in my life, and I enjoyed it. I honestly did.
Here's a question: would you actually go for therapy?
I have some issues with it, so I think maybe not. It's besides the finance. I think if I
Okay, therapy's free.
Okay, if I have over, I'm gonna say when I get like over 2 million followers on Instagram, I'm definitely doing therapy. Anything under that, I feel like I'm gonna find something else to prioritize to do at that time.
And how many followers have you got at the moment?
Like 30,000.
Okay, well, we're gonna have to work. We're gonna have to work on that one, then, aren't we? Okay, Radu, thank you so much for today.
Thank you. Honestly, really enjoyed it as well.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.
The Hurt Locker is a safe space for our guests to openly share their mental health experiences. If you have been affected by any of the content in this recording, then please reach out for support. If it is an emergency, dial 999. If you would like to talk to somebody today, then please call the Samaritans on 116 123. Stay safe. Thanks for listening to this episode of The Hurt Locker. Please give us a rating or share with another listener. You can also follow us on Instagram and Facebook at The Hurt Locker Pod.